I wanted to see if I could talk about the races we got to see so far. Unfortunately, the Cup race is tomorrow, so yay. Well, actually, it was kind of fortunate because I was just not in the mood for Michigan, and the F1 race was on. Got to see that. That race was pretty epic for the most part. At least the post race stuff was, but we'll get to that anyway. To start off, we'll go with I guess Arca since it was the first. It was okay. Wasn't a great arc race. We've seen better. Um, I think Pocono was a better finish, honestly, and Charlotte was just a blast. That was a fun race. This one kind of but it had a decent. I mean, Ty Majeski made it interesting, So at least give him credit, man. The last 2 weeks, Ty Majeski's made the ARCA Racing Series interesting. So that 22 team, kind of kind of happy for him, showing that hey, he's got talent. Maybe he shouldn't have probably been in the 60 car. That might have been his problem last year when he was in that car. How shit they were. But anyway, yeah. So Arca was okay. There was the truck race. Yeah, the same night, the truck race. Yeah, that's right. And holy jeez Louise, that was so far the best race of the weekend. The Biff fucking won. That was amazing. I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting him to run top five, maybe top 10, and he did almost all night. He was top five almost all night. And then he got the lead late and held on to it, and won the race. I was like, hell yeah. Um, and Ross Chastain had a really good truck too, but he got screwed over whenever he pitted under green and the caution came out late. That kind of screwed up his race, but he still got a top 10 out of it, even though he was a lap down. And he keeps his streak of top tens alive in trucks. He's been in the top 10 in every race. He's in every truck race this year. Impressive. And then freaking Tyler Ankrum finishes third or second, I think, second or third, despite the fact that he spun and nearly destroyed his truck on freaking pit road. That was crazy. Just a lot of craziness going on in that race. It was fun. It's fun to watch. Yeah. And then we go to the IndyCar. No, it was the Xfinity race next. Yeah, and then the Xfinity race. It was a whole lot of nothing. Uh, I guess the fuel strategy at the end kind of made it a little interesting, but in the end, it's like, who gives a shit? Tyler Reddick wins again, and it's like, I mean, it's impressive. I'm actually kind of impressed with Tyler Reddick winning and being as good as he's been in the two car because they don't have a lot of sponsorship on that car. They've had to they've got like 20 different freaking sponsors on that car this year, I think. Um, so funding's kind of been an issue this year. Even in the Cup Series, like freaking Daniel Hemrick's had like a different sponsor almost every race. I think the only one that's come back to do multiple races has been Bass Pro and Caterpillar, but outside of that, it's been mostly like one-off races with a bunch of other sponsors. So it's like, eh. And then they always are like, "Oh, the sport's healthy. It's fine." And it's like, yeah, I don't know. ARCA only like 18 cars showed up, and trucks like they barely got 33 trucks there. That's the only series that's actually doing any good. That's because they cut the field down to 32. So they used to be 36. They barely get 36 guys to show up, or guys and gals to show up anymore for those. And Xfinity, like they had to cut the field down to 38 to get bumping and that. So yeah. Anyway, so the Xfinity race, as I was saying, was kind of eh. The finish was cool, I guess, but just I just don't care. Like I'm not the biggest fan of Reddick or Custer or Christopher Bell, and it's like another big three all over again, pretty much. Except it's three different manufacturers and three different teams. So I guess that's something a little different from last year. So yeah. Anyway, so I'm really hoping that my boy Allgaier or fucking anybody at this point would get up there and win some races. The only good thing to happen to Xfinity this year is that Ryan Sieg is doing great in the 39 car. He's been like top 10 every race this year, pretty much. And Yeah, like he literally he'd actually be in the chase right now for Xfinity, so that's pretty crazy. Like he's already all but locked in. And Greg Galding's had a good season so far. He almost won Talladega. He's been really like top 15, top 20 every week in that '08 car, which was like garbage last year, which was the '76 last year. Our car was garbage, so him and his teammates terrible. The '07, this Ray Black. Although Ray Black did get the top 15 at Vegas or whatever it was, but most of the time he's always crashing out, and then Galding has to come in and be like, "Hey, I got the top 15, woohoo!" Or second at Talladega and go for dash for cash. But anyway, yeah. So Xfinity kind of sucked. Anyway, then the IndyCar race. That was a lot of fun. It started off kind of slow because it was just Takuma leading. I was like, it's still cool. Takuma's leading. Then he came down pit road and he ran over his pit crew, pit crew guy, which was insane. Hope that guy's okay. Um, and then he ended up like 3 laps down because of it, and I was just like, so. But after that, the race actually got really interesting. A lot of different strategies came about. A lot of guys, trying to save fuel, trying to save tires, trying to save everything basically to get to the end. It was a really awesome race. Colton Herta ran top 5 almost the entire race, which was great to see. He's had such a crap year outside of Coda. It's been great. It's great to see him actually run up front again and compete for a podium. Unfortunately, he tried to make a pass on Dixon. Dixon giving him a little more room, but yeah, led to a crash. It was just one of those racing deals. I was like, I'd rather him wreck and crash out trying to get top 5 or podium than have him die on lap 1 at Indy like he did, or lap 3 or whatever it was, and freaking finish dead last. At least he didn't do that. So, yay. He wasn't 33rd again. But yeah, anyway, so yeah. Yeah, it was a great finish. Newgarden and Penske just fucking keep doing their thing and probably going to win the championship because of it. I mean, and I was really shocked. Fitzgerald is still sponsoring Penske, even in an IndyCar. I thought that they were, because last year they were going to fund the 22 Xfinity car, and then they had to pull out like halfway through the year when they got hit by the EPA with some stupid regulations and they couldn't make a bunch of those like hitches that they make or whatever, the glider kits that they make. So I guess they're either still sponsoring Penske to an extent, because they did sponsor the 12 car at Daytona for the Xfinity race with Brad, and they've also sponsored Joseph in some IndyCar races this year. So I guess they're still doing those. I guess because they don't cost as much money as like sponsoring a full season on the 22 car like they were going to do last year. So yeah, anyway. But yeah, so enough of that. So the race got rained out. I was actually okay with that because that saved my fantasy team, because I completely forgot to get the bonus picks in for the stage winners and the race winner and all that. So because of the delay, I got to be able to do that. And I was like, yay, because freaking them qualifying on Saturday throws me off, because I keep thinking it's Friday, because they always qualify on Friday, and then we race on Sunday. But I was like, wait, no. I was like looking at my phone, looking at the team. I was like, oh, shoot, I forgot to put the freaking fantasy team together. Oh, no. So I was like, I thought I was hosed, but thank God it rained out. And oh, yeah, the F1 race. God, I forgot the F1 race today. That was insane. Um, the Because of the rain delay, I got to watch the whole thing, which was great. Freaking Lewis Hamilton won, even though he didn't cross the finish line first. And Vettel probably should have won. And he was pissed about it. And I love what he did in the post race when he was like fucking moving his the podium like banners around. That was fucking great. I was like, that's just awesome. It was so cool. It just takes the 2, moves it over to Lewis Hamilton's car, and puts the 1 where his car would have been. I was like, that's just awesome. So yeah, I have a lot of respect for Vettel now because of that. That was pretty baller. But yeah, so that was some bullshit. I love Lewis Hamilton. I'm a Lewis Hamilton guy, but that was a stupid call. That was so fucking dumb. Anyway, enough of talking about